YouTube, what's up? It's your girl Sierra B, and I am back with another video. Sorry about the quality. As you can tell, I am in a hotel room, so I do not have like my whole lighting to brighten this thing up and make it look a little more quality. But I have been prolonging this video until now because it is officially my 6 months. I have been a flight attendant for 6 months. So we're just gonna go ahead and get straight to it. And I kind of have already wrote some things down in here in my phone. I actually wrote all of this stuff out. This is so ghetto. Much better. Okay. So I had pretty much already wrote some things down, but I left that at home along with my tripod and ring light and everything else. So I pretty much remembered everything, so I just jotted it down on my phone. So make sure this TV is not too loud. I'm sure it's not because I can barely hear it, but I didn't want y'all to hear it. But so yeah, first time being a flight attendant. I am a flight attendant for a regional airline. We are a subsidiary of Delta Airlines. So we fly on Delta planes. Like they have Delta on there, but then they'll say connection, Delta connection or whatever, because we are a regional airline. So like I said, 6 months in, and I just really wanted to kind of update y'all on how I've been feeling, how everything is going, you know, of that sort. So first and foremost, I kind of touched on this in one of the previous videos, but we'll start with training, because I get so many questions, and I'm sure like every flight attendant will be able to answer these questions, and every flight attendant will tell you that so many people probably ask them the same exact freaking questions. So get right into it. The first thing is, of course, apply to whatever airline you see is fit for you. Make sure you do read over every qualification, everything, pay, everything. After you are selected, you know, you eventually get to training. So they do put you in a hotel room. Because of COVID, we had our own room, but I've been told like before COVID they would put 2 people to a room. So yeah, because of COVID we had our own room. They do put you in a hotel. They don't really provide transportation. The only thing they provide is like a shuttle to and from your training facility. Our training was only 4 weeks. I think it was 4 weeks. But I've heard, you know, some people training be 2 months or whatever. So our training was only like 4 or 5 weeks. Every week you do have homework. You also have tests. You also have drills and procedures, and you also have emergency drills and procedures as well. So we had homework pretty much every day. Our homework that we had was used as a study guide for us to study for the test. Our test, like the first week, it was pretty much the basics. So it was like military time. It wasn't airport codes because airlines, well, I don't know about every airline, but a lot of airlines don't do airport codes anymore. But it was like military time and like some of the abbreviations for the airline industry, I guess you could say. So that was pretty much the first test. That was pretty easy. And I passed every test with like an A. It was stressful as far as in like trying to memorize everything. And it was also stressful just because it was quick. Like our trainings were quick. Like I said, we were only there for 4, maybe 5 weeks. And that was it. So yeah, the first week was military time, some abbreviations for airline codes and stuff. Not airport codes, but airline codes and definitions and things like that. The second week was when it started to really hit me like, okay girl, You need to be paying attention. You need to be writing down some notes. You need to be, you know, on your shit. So second week is when it started to get real. Again, we had homework every day, which was used as a study guide for our test. We had tests like at the beginning, it started off like we had one major test. The other one was like an open book. So of course, you know, you don't really care about an open book. But as the training progressed, you had tests like maybe 2 or 3 times a week. So we had like a medical test where we had to know everything to do in a medical situation, like if somebody can't breathe, or if somebody's having a stroke, or how to treat different things, I guess you could say. We have to like know how to reach the flight deck where the pilot and the co-pilot are, and kind of, you know, let them know situations that's going on the plane. And you know, sometimes you may have to divert to another city because you can't make it to your destination because this person is doing whatever on the plane. Like we had to go through those medical situations, like asthma attacks, everything. So that was the test. We also had to know like knowledge of where things are on the aircraft. So that was a whole big ass test of like where we could find oxygen masks, or where we could find like the AED defibrillator things. Like, you know, that was just a lot. I'm trying to think. And then of course, like our final test was just everything we went over in class. I'm trying to make sure I stay on because I don't want this video to be too long. So in class, like in our training class, we had like modules. So pretty much just like videos of everything that we would go through with our instructors. So throughout the whole training or whatever, like I said, we had tests, and we also watched videos. So a lot of those videos would either make you think like, damn, this really be going on planes, or damn, this really happened. What was I when this happened, when this made the news? Like, you know. And then some of it would make you think like, damn, do I really want to be a flight attendant? Like, we watched one video about a FedEx employee that was like ready to die or whatever, and kind of like, y'all have to go search it, but that shit was crazy. Like, some people were teary-eyed watching it. Like, that's how intense that was. But so yeah, we watched videos, you know, we did all that, and then we had drills as well. So we had drills as far as in like how to work a main cabin door, or how to work your galley door, how to work both of those doors in an emergency. Like what you do if the pilot say this over the intercom. What do you do if you got a passenger, just like lately these people have been going crazy. You get people, what do you do in situations where somebody is trying to take over the plane? Or what do you do in situations where somebody's trying to get off the airplane and we in the sky? Like, you know, we had drills on how to do stuff like that. Now, because this is a regional airline, we don't have like those sliding doors, and we don't have like those slides that people get off on when something going on the plane or whatever. We didn't have that. So we have our main cabin door, and we have steps that we go down. Like what you see these celebrities when they have their private jets, and they have like the steps. That's kind of like what we have. So we have to like learn how to make sure the handrails are up, and you know, just stuff like that. So you do have different drills. We were not taught swim lessons. I know somebody asked me that. I think some airlines may teach you that, but ours don't. Okay, so now we're starting to get into the actual job and how that is. So I will say, fresh out of training, we had like training in the classroom and then training on the actual plane, and that was for, I think I did like 2 or 3 days. You learn how to work one aircraft. All the aircrafts that we have, you learn how to work those. So out of class training onto on the plane training, that was cool. It's a little intimidating a little bit because you do have like a instructor that's like flying. Like I'm on a layover now. I had an instructor that like I was on the layover with, like that type of thing. Um, so that was cool. But after that, on my own, here we go. So at first, I was like really tired, and still now I do be really tired, but at first I was really tired. Like, nobody talks about how flight attendants, like, the tiredness of being a flight attendant. Like, we love to say, like, before me being a flight attendant, going places on a plane or whatever, like, people love to say how they're jet lagged. Flight attendants are jet lagged too, but at this point of being a flight attendant, we don't call it jet lag. We call it just straight up tired. Your ass is tired. So nobody really talks about that, but I will say the first 2 to 3 months out of training, I was just exhausted. This is, you know, when it kicks in that you're not going to be able to make a lot of important events. You're not going to be able to be there for such and such birthday. For the most part, I have made majority of the events that I wanted to make, or be there for whoever birthday that I wanted to be there for. But this is like really when all of that starts to hit you. So I will say, you know, after you work your 8 hours or 10 hours or 14 hours, because flight attendants can work up to 16 hours. Well, they schedule you 14 hours, but you can work up to 16 hours just depending on if it's delays or whatever. After the 16 hours, of course, they have to send you home, send you to a hotel, send you wherever. Like, you cannot work past 16 days, like, at all. So, yeah, back to what I was saying. Like, if you work your 8 hours or 10 hours or whatever, and you on a 3-day trip, 4-day trip, 5-day trip, I even know some people that do 6-day trips, you can't work past 6 days. So you have to have that one off day. So you can't work 7 days straight. You have to work 6 or less. But yeah, after that, you are gonna want to be dead to the bed. It's been times where I had 2 off days. I did literally nothing for 2 days but sleep. So the first 2-3 months is gonna wear you out. I'm not gonna lie. Even still, I be wore out. But I kind of try to make myself, you know, maybe like if I'm off 2 days, the first day I'm sleeping dead to the bed. The next day, then, you know, I may do something. Or sometimes, like, I'll sleep half of the first day or something, you know, just trying not to waste my off days, I guess you could say. So yes, you would definitely be tired. Had to talk about that. While you're on the plane, baby, some days you may get a lunch or breaks to eat, and some days you may not. Just like the other day, I posted on my Instagram story, like, I did not eat all day. I had like some chips and some hummus, and that was at like 9 o'clock that night or 10 o'clock that night. I can't remember, because that week I had like late end times, which means, you know, I didn't get to my hotel till 11:30 at night. So yes, flight attendants, they do meal prep just like a lot of people do meal prep on regular jobs. However, you don't get a lunch break like regular jobs. So a lot of times when you in the air, after you get done serving either first class or the main cabin, that's your time to eat. And you don't have a break room. You get in that galley and you hide from the passengers. They gonna still come bother you, because that's just how people are. But that is your time. Or you gonna snack all day. And I've come to be a snacker. So yeah, you just kind of like, you'll get into the habits of how it really is being a flight attendant. You know, as far as the eating wise, I mean, you'll get into it, you know, with everything. But when it comes to actually like eating and having breaks and stuff like that, you'll get to that point. But again, you don't really have breaks. It may be every once in a blue moon you may have a break to where you could go find something in the airport to eat, or either if you know, meal prepped and brought your lunch, then you have that. So even with meal prepping, y'all, you gotta have to weigh it out, because a lot of people be bringing vegetables and fruits and stuff. You know that stuff expires quick. So that stuff you have to eat within a day or 2 or 3. But you have to be careful. You don't have a refrigerator, so you get different techniques on how to put ice in your bag, or how to get ice packs, or how to, you know, maintain your stuff till you get to the hotel. And some hotels don't have refrigerators in their room or a microwave, so you have to ask the front desk. Some front desks ain't gonna let you do it, some will do it, but then you'll forget to pick it up the next morning before you leave the hotel. Like, you know, you kind of just have to get into the groove of being a flight attendant and meal prepping and that type of thing. So my phone is going dead because y'all know I'm still iPhone shorty when it comes to doing that. So, and I only brought one charger, like, girl, what? Okay, so now let's see what's out about that. Okay, you are going to run through, women, you are going to run through shoes, and you're going to run through stockings. You can get all the doable stockings that you want that won't tear up quick or whatever. Eventually they will. You're going to run through them. I wear like the little black tights because I got a tattoo on my leg, so I don't want to cover that up all the time with makeup and all that. So I just wear black tights because you can barely see it with the black tights. But a lot of people wear regular stockings. They wear like the stockings that match their skin tone, so you can barely tell that they have on stockings and stuff like that. You're gonna run through that. Shoes, you're gonna run through shoes too, because you gotta push carts through the aisles. You gotta press the brakes on them with the toe of your toe of the shoe or whatever. So you're gonna run through shoes, especially cheap shoes. You're gonna run through shoes. If you got some expensive shoes that kind of uphold, you may be okay for like a couple months or whatever, but you're gonna run through shoes. So just be prepared for that. Now, the interesting part. Like I said, I am 6 months in. I still have ways to go, but I'm gonna talk about it right now. Relationships, friendships, your mental health, having hoes. Let's get into it. So, I will say, your mental health. Before being a flight attendant, I have always been told how it's a lonely job, and it is a lonely job. If you have like a support system and people in your life that love you and check up on you every day or every other day, that, like, you know, want you around, that plan things with you, or, you know, just check up on you and care about your well-being, then you will be okay. Like, you'll make it work and you will be okay. Now, for those that don't really have family, or that are like on the verge of like don't really have people that check up on them, or don't really have many friends and things like that, like, I could see how, you know, some of those people may be going through mental issues, because it is a very lonely job. Now, that ties into relationships and friendships as well. A lot of people, you know, they may start going through some mental things after they go through a breakup, or they stop being friends with certain people, because a lot of people cannot take your lifestyle. We go from a regular 9-to-5 to being a flight attendant. A lot of people do not think about this. Again, you're not going to make every event. You're not going to make every birthday. It's a blessing if you do, but it's not a guarantee. And a lot of friends don't understand, and those will turn up to not be your real friends. A lot of boyfriends and girlfriends don't understand, and that's when you'll kind of try to make it work, or either it's going to crumble down. And again, you'll start, you know, going through some issues if you're not a mentally strong person. So I will say, get you a awesome support system. Make sure you explain it to a T. Even sometimes, even with explaining it to a T, some people may not still understand. Luckily for me, I have an amazing support system. I have family that love me, that check up on me. Sierra, you ain't been home in a week. Was good. Because if you know, you know. Then I'm very, me and my family are like this. So yes, I again, I'm 6 months in, so I see why people have hoes. I see why some people they choose to be single. Like, I see why some people choose this lifestyle, because it's hard to maintain friendships. It's hard to maintain relationships. Like, it's gonna be people that you've been friends with for 20 years, but you've always been there at a drop of a dime for them, and that's gonna change. So it's gonna be a lot of eye-opening situations that's gonna go on, and all I can say is have some real friends and have some real family members. And with that, and it's really crazy because my instructors in training, they talked about this, because you know they opened the floor for questions. So a lot of people ask, like, what's some pros to your job that you like, and what's some cons to your job that you like, or if you could say something that you would warn newbies about, what would that be, type of thing. And for the most part, all of them had, that was their main thing, was that it can be a lonely job, and if you don't have like the right people in your life, you're gonna lose those people. You may gain, you know, more beneficial relationships along the way, or it's just gonna be a lonely life. So they definitely touched on that in training, and they definitely touched on how you will get calls or texts or DMs on social media from people that you ain't said hey to in 20 years, but they want a flight, they want a discount, they want to be on your buddy pass. It's like, it's happening to me now. You'll get people that, you know, are your friends that want your benefits, and you realize that they're trying to use you for your benefits. That again is happening to me now. So I'm living proof that everything that my instructors warned me about in training is sort of kind of going on at this moment. Like, relationships, friendships, people that you don't even know asking for benefits. It like I said, it could be somebody you ain't talked to in 20 years. It could be somebody that you don't know at all, or it could be your friends. Somebody is wanting a buddy pass. Somebody's wanting to be on your travel benefits and all this. The great thing about me and being with this regional airline is that we don't get buddy passes. Like, these are people, like, you have to actually put on your travel benefits. So and that's a great thing, and it could be a bad thing, because yeah, you put them on your travel benefits, so now you got to really get somebody that care about you enough to care about what they're doing, because it's going to represent you. So you definitely have to consider whoever you put on your benefits, and knowing that they're not abusing it, know that they're not acting the fool on these airplanes, all of this, because it's going to come back to you. So yes, definitely get you some strong people in your life. Hold on to them. And that's that on friendships and relationships, because it's lonely out here. And last but not least, we're going to touch on pay, because I know that's probably like a ringing question too. I'm going to say it plain as day. Flight attendants don't make enough money for none of this shit that's going on with these airlines. Like, you see these people trying to attack the flight attendants. You see these people trying to get off the plane while they're in the air. You see these people trying to take over the plane, over the flight deck with the pilots and stuff. We don't get paid enough for that. Especially regionals. We most certainly do not get paid enough for this. You got regional, which is what I'm doing, and then you have mainline, which is like Delta, the big planes you see in Delta. However, you know, they may make, well, they do make, you know, money. So I would say, you know, with a flight attendant, you get paid an hourly rate, and then you also get paid a per diem. So a per diem is like how right now I'm on a layover. I'm in Arkansas, if I haven't said anything. I'm in Arkansas. So right now I am getting paid my hourly rate and I'm getting paid per diem. So per diem is like, it's little to nothing. It ranges between like $1.50 to $4 depending on your airline. And then you have your hourly rates. I think our hourly rate started off at like $19. And it could go up, you know, all the way. So our regional starting off at $19, which that's not what I started off at. Let me tell y'all that before y'all try to count my pockets. You have our start off rate versus mainline, like Delta start off rate, which is at $30 an hour. Who ain't finna try to apply for Delta? Let me go and put that out there. Like, it's pros and cons, and I'll get to that in a second. And then we get like 75 hours guaranteed no matter how much you work or how little you work. So we have to work 6 days a month to keep our benefits at our job. So again, even with you working 6 days a month, you still get 75 hours guaranteed. And we get paid on the 1st and the 16th, if I'm not mistaken. Your first check is normally your smallest check, and then your 16th check is the one with everything, your per diem, your everything is on your 16th check. I had to think about it. So yeah, that is that. So all in all, flight attendants are broke. You definitely gonna need a side hustle or a second job to maintain. It's hard. The job altogether is a joy. It's a pleasure. It's something that you'll love to do if you like flying and you know you love people, that type of thing. It's a joy to do, but it's hard as far as in like I said, you be tired. Your pay may not be great, so you need a side job, which is gonna also make you tired even more because now you have a side job to maintain your bills or your household or whatever. So a lot of people may ask, you know, why are you doing it then? Or, you know, you're not making this, so why are you doing it? Or you gotta have a side job, so why are you doing it? All this. Again, it's a pleasure. It's a joy. I absolutely love what I do, no matter all this stuff I'm telling you, the pros and the cons. The pros outweigh the cons. I'm going to tell you that. So I absolutely love what I do. I would not trade it for the world. I most definitely will not go back to a 9-to-5, no matter how fucked up some situations may be on planes. I will not go back to a 9-to-5. If I go back to a 9-to-5, it's going to be in the airline industry, in the office, somewhere. But a regular job outside of the airline industry, no. Yeah, so that's pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about verbatim, like, you know, as far as in my 6 months check-in. So the screaming question of, you know, what a lot of people want to know is, well, a lot of people that I know that I've talked about the airlines with, they want to know, like, okay, am I staying with them? Do I want to go to like another airline? And mainline doesn't mean just Delta. You can go to like Frontier, Spirit, United, American, like all of those are mainline. We have regional and we have mainline. Like Delta has, I want to say 3 regionals. So it's us, SkyWest, and Republic. So yeah, it's 3 regionals, and then it's like Delta mainline. So a lot of people ask, would I go mainline Delta, because they don't really know the difference. I think I am gonna try. We'll see how things go. I'll say that we'll see how things go with this. Like I said, I'm only 6 months in, so I do kind of just want to see how this goes. There are pros and cons to it, because with regional, you don't really work as hard as you do on like mainline. Like, yes, Delta has like 3 and 4 flight attendants working one job, one plane, versus us where it's just 2 flight attendants, 2 pilots, you know, that type of situation. So it's just pros and cons to it. Like, I will say I love regional as far as in me like working a little less, because we don't have a lot of things to do. Like Delta, they got all them emergency exits, they got all them doors and stuff. They probably have twice as much emergency equipment to go through. As you can see, people are acting crazy on those flights. Like, our flights are so sweet and simple. We have, our longest flight is probably like 2, maybe 3 hours is our longest flights that we service. Of course, you know, Delta, they go to Paris, they go to France, they go, you know, all these other places, Africa, they do all of this stuff. So a lot of their flights are long flights. So that's something to consider. You know, if that's, you know, what you want to do. So, but that pay though, that's something to consider. But you know, with every job, it's something. You're gonna like something, you're not gonna like something. So right now, my thing is kind of trying to weigh out everything, and that's gonna determine if I actually do apply to go to Delta's main line, or if I want to go to like another airline. All I know is I need more coins, because I'm not trying to work a second job. Like, yes, I do have my own business, CM Beauty. So if you haven't, you know, go check that out. Go buy some, because I'm broke. But, yeah, even with that, you know, I'm starting out. So I'm still trying to get my clientele up, still trying to get business off the ground. So, yeah, I need some more money. But yeah, so that is my 6-month check-in. When it's a year, I will come back in a year and let y'all know how it is. But I'm gonna stop at a year, because, you know, it's probably not gonna be no more questions for me to answer. I mean, but I definitely just wanted to touch base on this. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend and tell a friend, especially if you have friends that want to be a flight attendant. Definitely let them know to check out this video. And then until next time, about to go hit that weight room, because your girl, these arms getting out of hand. Peace, guys.